Yeah, definitely. I think, and one of the things I didn't mention before is that our digital signage in the space are also automated from Nexus Briefing Edge. So the welcome sign, which welcomes the customers that are in, as well as the outside of our room signs, which is connected to the agenda in Briefing Edge. So it goes through the day and lets people know what's happening in that meeting space. So that definitely, helps save time and keeps our team from having to figure out and type all that in manually for each meeting, especially since we have multiple meetings in a day sometimes. As I mentioned before, since we're not a tech company, we have custom built a lot of our Briefing Edge to meet our needs. We are always in touch saying, can we do this? Can we do that? So that it's like really tailored so that we can input all of our information into it. So to have everything at our fingertips. So all the logistics, even what creative we're working on, what experiential components might be part of it. If we're going out in the community as part of our larger team, we keep all of that information in Briefing Edge. And I always say good information in equals good information out. So the more we put in and the better we are at detailing all of it in Briefing Edge, allows us to do better reporting. And we're constantly being asked for reporting. We do reports on an ongoing basis, and then we might just get a question from a senior leader or someone out in the markets as to the meetings we've supported or the amount of revenue that we've influenced or things like that. So we are we're always leading with reporting in mind so that we can be showing the value of our program ongoing. Another interesting and really important time saver for our program is that we use dedicated technical staff, or what we call a producer or a technology manager, for all of our meetings. There's one assigned to every meeting. They're not on our team. They're actually an outside vendor who works for the overall enterprise, but we have 3 or 4 of them that are dedicated to just our experiential solutions customer center meetings, whether they be in person or virtual. And they work hand in hand with the meeting team. They're assigned closer to the date. They're often on our prep calls or things like that. And their job is really to take the pressure off of the meeting host so that they can focus on their customers. So they sit in the room at a special desk we have designed for them, or they're on the virtual meeting as an alternate host, and they have, they often run the slides. They'll run videos if we're showing videos, any polling or things like that. They'll handle all that if we're recording it, if we're downloading questions after. They take care of all of that. So it really allows the host to focus on their customer and their content, and allows our meeting team to be on the call to kick it off, and then to drop off if it's a virtual meeting, or step out of the meeting room and go on to planning other things, because they know that the meeting's in good hands. And we're constantly on Teams or text message with the tech producers to make sure that everything is running smoothly in the room or in the virtual room. And actually, during the pandemic, we started adding in another really big time saver. It's actually a big time saver as you get to meeting day. And that's what we call our working session or prep session. And it's a lot easier to do a working session in the virtual world rather than waiting for everybody to get on site if everyone's traveling in for a meeting. And the working sessions is with the technology person, our staff, and the meeting team subject matter experts. And it's been a huge help to just iron out all logistics and all the content ahead of time. If we're doing a hybrid, make sure we can figure out, what's on the screen, what's in person, are the microphones working, all of that stuff, and just iron it out, and gives everybody that peace of mind. So that's a huge time saver when we get to actual meeting day, that we've already ironed all of this out, whether it be in person or virtual. We've taken to doing virtual working sessions or prep sessions, even if it is an in-person meeting, because again, you get that chance to do it. It's why didn't we think of this before? But now that we're all on virtual meetings all the time, it makes much more sense. So, again, we use the Briefing Edge calendar as our one-stop shop for managing everything. That's a huge time saver for us. So we're not going back and forth between multiple systems to figure out, where we are with capacity or staffing, and we know what we have in the pipeline, as well as what we've accomplished this year so far. And even the confirmation emails that we use out of Briefing Edge are customized depending on the different type of briefing that we're having. And we've included things like links to catering, links to security, any other information that the hosts need to know to get everything organized so that it's easy for them and saves time in the planning calls and going over those things. And also on meeting day, that it makes it much more smooth, that they know where to park and they know how to get in, and we're there to meet them and all of that. So that there's a lot of things we do because of being a small team. We've tried to find many different ways to save time and make everything efficient. So that we can balance our workload and to do that deep dive into each customer to really make each experience unique and memorable for the customer.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. So, and one of the things I just want to highlight, which you had mentioned a few times, is the idea that having everything kind of in one central location, whether it's a central scheduling tool or whether it's able to integrate with all different things, is kind of the primary time saver, because you're not having to jump between different platforms and you're not having to replicate data or other things like that. It's kind of a central source of truth in all actions. So that's a great point.
Yeah, game changer for sure.